I'm going to do a quick overview and review of the Firman model W2000i. 1600 running watts, 2000 starting watts. A couple things that are pretty cool. I like that the Firman has the ability that you can parallel. You could do two of these together if you want to double your output. That's pretty cool. It does have the 30 amp 3-prong twist and lock 120 volt outlet. Has a standard outlet. Would be kind of cool, kind of nice to see a GFCI on there, but not a big deal, not a big deal breaker. I think this is kind of neat. It's got a built-in USB right there. Pretty cool. As is pretty standard with most inverter generators, you have an eco mode option that will allow the engine to ramp down and consume less fuel, assuming you're going to be placing just a small demand, only a couple hundred watts on the unit. You also have a ground bolt where you can bolt up and actually ground a rod into the ground if you have concerns with something that needs to be grounded. Yeah, so that's the side and the front. Here's the other side and the rear. So before I jump into this, I just want to tell you my recommendation. So anytime you're dealing with small engines, with carburetors especially, so lawnmower, generator, any of these kinds of things, I would recommend running ethanol-free fuel. And the reason for that is the ethanol can attract moisture, and what that ends up doing is it ends up gumming up things. And it can cause a lot of problems. A lot of times when you try to start your stuff in the spring and you can't, it's because you have ethanol fuel in there and it gums things up. And if you look at the little holes where the fuel is going through, they're very small, very easy to clog. So that's my first and foremost recommendation for anything that you're doing with small engines. Okay, I'm going to show you how easy it is to start it up. They do have the instructions right on it. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to turn your gas on. You're going to open up the vent so that air can go in so you don't create a vapor lock. We're going to pull the choke. Make sure we turn the engine to on there. And then I'm going to stand back. See if I can hold this thing here. See, it's pretty quiet. Really does a pretty good job. And if I set it on to eco mode, then it gets really quiet. Really easy to use. Low maintenance. I've run it, just run it through break-in. So I ran it for, I don't know, about 5-6 hours with a heat gun on it and just made sure it had a good load. So I've got my kilowatt meter plugged in and I've got a 1500 watt heat gun. It has two settings, has low and high. I'm going to turn it on low first. Like we're pulling about 750 watts. Let's bump that up to 15. Okay, I'm going to put it into eco mode and do the same thing. We'll see if it can handle it. I'm going to start with low. I don't think they recommend going from eco to a high load like that, but apparently it can handle it. So if you have one of these generators, they're pretty light, pretty easy to hold, not bad. They don't take up a ton of room. Honestly, I would say this is just as good as anything out there, and for $350, I believe is what they're on coupon at Costco right now. I don't think you're going to find a better generator for the value right now.